This is an abandoned farm that I bought at a blind auction without any inspection. I have no money at all, and with this, I need to develop this farm into a stable income. Will I be able to do it? If you're interested, leave a like and let's get started. Welcome back to the farm. If you've been following this journey, you know it's been incredible. And you asked for year 3, so here it is. Let's dive in. Autumn has arrived, and I want to show you exactly where the farm stands right now. First, the 2 canola fields I planted last autumn. Look at them. They're beautiful, covered in lush green canola plants, growing strong and healthy. These fields will turn golden yellow by summer and bring in massive profits. I'm planting canola again because it's proven to be one of the most profitable crops in the game. Now over here, the sheep pen. 15 sheep grazing peacefully, looking healthy and content. They've been producing wool consistently, and they're one of my best passive income sources. I just feed them grass bales from storage, and they produce valuable wool pallets every few weeks. Low maintenance, high profit, exactly what I want. And here, the 2 greenhouses I installed last year. Inside, you can see vegetables growing under controlled conditions. These greenhouses produce income year-round, completely independent of seasons or weather. While I wait for field crops to mature, the greenhouses keep generating money. That's diversification. So here's my plan for year 3. Maximize profits through diversification. I'll continue contract work to generate extra income. I'll expand livestock operations even further. I'll produce multiple batches of silage. And most importantly, I'll keep planting profitable crops and selling them at the right times. This farm has evolved from a stripped-down disaster into a thriving, diversified agricultural business. Year 3 is about taking it to the next level. But first, let's check on those greenhouses. I walk over to the first greenhouse and here is first pallets. I count them. 2 pallets from the first greenhouse. I move to the second greenhouse and here are another 2 pallets appear. 4 pallets total from both greenhouses combined. That's a lot of fresh produce ready to sell. Now, I need to transport these vegetable pallets to market. I walk back to the equipment shed and grab my tractor with the front loader attached. I switch to pallet forks on the front loader. These are perfect for handling pallets safely. I drive the tractor to the first greenhouse and carefully position the forks under the first pallet. I lift it smoothly. Lettuce pallets are actually pretty heavy. And drive over to where my flatbed trailer is parked. I lower the pallet onto the flatbed and secure it. Then I go back for another pallet. And another. One by one, I load all 4 pallets onto the flatbed trailer, stacking them carefully to make sure nothing falls off during transport. Time to head to the supermarket. I drive through the farm gate and onto the main road, heading toward town. The drive takes about 10 minutes. I reach the town and navigate to the local supermarket on the edge of the commercial district. I pull up to the supermarket's loading dock and back the trailer into position. Workers come out immediately. They're expecting fresh produce deliveries. They unload the pallets one by one using their own equipment, inspecting the quality of each batch. Everything looks excellent. Fresh, clean, properly harvested. The supervisor approves the delivery and processes payment on the spot. For 12 pallets of mixed vegetables, I received $6,000. That's fantastic income for basically passive work. The greenhouses grow automatically. I just harvest and sell. This is exactly why I invested in greenhouses in the first place. Steady, reliable income while I focus on bigger field operations. Back at the farm, I check the online contract board to see what work is available. Contract work has been incredibly profitable for me, using equipment I already own to earn money on other people's fields. Today, I find several good opportunities. The first contract catches my eye immediately: wheat sowing. A farmer needs someone to plant wheat on his field. The pay is $4,000, solid money for a few hours of work. I accept the contract. Now I need wheat seeds. I drive my pickup truck to the agricultural supply store and purchase 1 pallet of wheat seeds for $800. I load them into the truck bed and drive back to the farm. At the farm, I hitch my own seeder to the tractor. Remember, I bought my own seeder last year and don't have to rent anymore. I load the wheat seeds into the seeder hopper, making sure it's filled completely. Then I check the contract details for the exact field location. It's about 3 miles away. I start driving, pulling the loaded seeder behind my tractor. When I arrive at the contract location, I survey the field. It's medium-sized, not too big, not too small. The farmer has already cultivated it, so the soil is loose and ready for planting. Perfect! I position my tractor and seeder at the edge of the field, engage the seeding mechanism, and begin making passes across the field. The work is methodical and satisfying. I make straight, careful passes to ensure complete coverage with no gaps or overlaps. The seeder drops wheat seeds at perfect intervals, covering them with soil as I drive. Row by row, the field transforms from bare brown soil to planted rows. After about an hour and a half of steady work, the entire field is planted with wheat. I drive back to the farmhouse where the contract owner is waiting. The contract is marked as complete, and payment of $4,000 transfers to my account immediately. First contract of year 3 complete. But I'm not done with contract work yet. I check the board again and find 2 more contracts, both for mowing grass on large fields. The combined pay for both is $9,000. That's excellent money, and I have the equipment ready. I accept both contracts. I drive back to my farm, unhitch the seeder, and attach my mower instead. Then I head to the first contract location. When I arrive, my jaw drops. This field is absolutely massive. Tall, thick grass covers every square meter. This is going to take serious time, but the pay makes it worth it. I position the tractor at the field edge, engage the mower, and start cutting. The mower works beautifully. My newer mower cuts so much better than the old one I started with. The blades slice through the thick grass cleanly, leaving neat rows behind me. I settle into a rhythm, making systematic passes back and forth across the enormous field. After over an hour of non-stop mowing, the first field is finally complete. The entire field is covered in neat rows of cut grass, ready for the farmer to collect and bale. I drive immediately to the second contract location without wasting time. The second grass field is also large, though slightly smaller than the first. I repeat the same process. Start at the edge, engage the mower, make systematic passes. Another hour of steady work, and the second field is done. Both grass mowing contracts completed successfully. I drive back to town to collect payment from both farmers. Total earnings, $9,000. Contract work continues to be one of my most reliable income sources. As I'm checking the contract board one more time, I notice something new. A harvest contract. This is different from anything I've done before. A farmer needs someone with a combine harvester to harvest his wheat crop. The field is fully mature and ready, but his combine is broken. He's willing to pay $7,000, the highest paying contract I've ever seen, for someone to harvest his entire field. I have a reliable combine now, so I immediately accept this contract. This is perfect for me. I drive my combine from the farm to the contract location. The drive takes about 15 minutes. Combines move slowly on roads, but I make it safely. When I arrive, I see the field. Golden yellow sorghum stalks sway in the breeze, completely ripe and ready for harvest. This is going to be a lot of work, but the pay is worth it. I drive the combine to the edge of the field, lower the header to cutting height, and engage all systems. I start harvesting. The combine moves through the wheat smoothly, cutting stalks and pulling them into the threshing system. I can hear the mechanical symphony, the header cutting, the threshing drum spinning, the grain elevators moving. The grain tank indicator starts rising as sorghum pours in. My combine works flawlessly. No problems, no breakdowns, just smooth, efficient harvesting. When the grain tank fills up, I drive to the edge where the farmer has positioned his trailers. I extend the unloading auger, position it over a trailer, and open the valve. Golden sorghum grain streams out, filling the trailer rapidly. Once empty, I return to harvesting. The process continues for several hours. The sun is getting low in the sky when I finally harvest the last swath of sorghum. The entire field is complete. Every stalk harvested, every grain collected. I drive the combine back to the farmhouse where the farmer is waiting. He inspects the field and the full trailers of grain. Everything is perfect. He transfers payment immediately, $7,000. This is the single highest paying contract I've ever completed. And the best part? It was just using equipment I already own. No extra investment needed, just time and skill. Harvest contracts are definitely something I'll be looking for more of in the future. With all that contract work completed and money rolling in, I head back to the farm to check on the sheep. It's been a while since the last wool collection, and I'm curious to see how much they've produced. I walk over to the sheep pen, and the sheep come running toward me, bleating happily. They look healthy and well fed. The grass bales I stored in the barn loft are keeping them perfectly nourished. I walk around to the wool collection area, and my eyes widen. Wool pallets. But not just a few. There are 10 pallets stacked in the collection zone. That's more wool than I've ever collected at once. This shows the flock is thriving, healthy, and at peak productivity. 15 sheep producing 10 pallets of wool. That's excellent production. Time to transport this wool to market. I walk back to the equipment area and fire up my tractor with the front loader attached. I switch to the pallet fork attachment and drive over to the wool collection area. One by one, I carefully pick up each wool pallet and load them onto my flatbed trailer. The wool pallets are surprisingly heavy. Each one is packed with dense, fluffy sheep wool. After about 20 minutes of loading, all 10 pallets are secured on the trailer. I hitch the trailer to my pickup truck. Driving to town is easier with the truck than the tractor. I start the drive to the spinning mill on the other side of town. The spinning mill is where they process raw wool into fabric and yarn, and they always pay fair prices for quality wool. I arrive at the spinning mill and back the trailer up to their receiving dock. Workers come out with their forklifts and begin unloading the pallets one by one. The supervisor processes my payment. For 10 pallets of wool, I receive $20,000. That's fantastic income, especially considering the sheep require minimal work. I just feed them grass bales occasionally and collect wool pallets every few weeks. The sheep continue to be one of my most profitable investments. Low maintenance, high return. Back at the farm, I turn my attention to the grass field. It's grown back tall and thick since the last harvest. Perfect timing for another silage production cycle. Silage has proven to be incredibly profitable. and I've got the process down to a smooth routine now. I start by hitching my mower to the tractor and driving out to the grass field. The grass is waist-high and dense. This is going to produce a lot of silage. I engage the mower and begin cutting. The new mower makes this job so much faster than before. What used to take hours now takes just over an hour. I work systematically across the field, leaving neat rows of cut grass behind me. Once the entire field is mowed, I drive back to the shed and switch equipment. I detach the mower and attach the windrower instead. The windrower gathers the loose cut grass into tight, organized swaths, basically concentrated rows that are much easier to collect. I drive the windrower across the field, gathering all the scattered grass into perfect swaths. This step is essential for efficient collection with the forage trailer. Now comes the collection phase. I detach the windrower and attach my forage trailer. One of my best equipment investments ever. This trailer has a massive pickup mechanism on the front that automatically collects grass from the swaths and loads it into the trailer. I position the forage trailer at the beginning of a swath, engage the pickup system, and start driving forward. The sound is incredible. A roaring mechanical crunch as the trailer grabs grass from the ground and throws it up into the storage compartment. Within 20 minutes, it's completely packed. I drive the full trailer to the first silo pit on my property. These horizontal concrete pits are specifically designed for silage production. I back up to the pit and press the unload button. Grass pours out of the trailer into the pit, forming a massive green pile. Then I return to the grass field and repeat the process. Load another trailer full of grass, haul it to the silo pit, unload, spread it out. I make multiple trips working steadily. Some loads go to the first pit, some to the second pit. By evening, both silo pits are completely full of fresh cut grass, piled high. But the work isn't finished yet. This is the most important part. For grass to ferment properly into high-quality silage, it must be compacted tightly. Compaction removes air pockets and releases plant juices, which kickstart the anaerobic fermentation process. Without proper compaction, the grass will just rot instead of fermenting. I drive my tractor directly into the first silo pit and begin driving back and forth over the grass pile. The tractor's weight presses down on the grass, squeezing it tighter and tighter. I make passes in different directions, straight lines, diagonals, circles, to ensure every part of the pile is compacted evenly. I can see liquid seeping out from the compressed grass. That's the plant juices releasing, exactly what I want. After 10 minutes of compaction work in the first pit, the pile is about half the height it started at. Pressed down solid and dense. I move to the second pit and repeat the entire process. Another 10 minutes of driving over the grass, compacting it thoroughly. Both pits are now packed tight with compressed grass ready for fermentation. The final step is covering. I grab 2 large tarps from storage, heavy-duty plastic sheets designed to seal silage pits. I spread tarps over pits, covering it completely. The tarp seals the silage from oxygen, which is essential. Without oxygen, the grass will ferment anaerobically, transforming into valuable silage. The sun will heat the tarps, accelerating the fermentation process. In several weeks, this grass will transform into dark, energy-rich silage that buyers pay premium prices for. Now, I just have to wait. As winter approaches and temperatures drop, I realize something exciting. It's time to sell the stored canola. Remember way back in summer when I harvested 2 full fields of canola and stored everything in the farm silo? I didn't sell it immediately because canola prices are lowest right after harvest when everyone is selling. But in winter, when supplies run low, prices increase dramatically, sometimes 25 to 30% higher. I walk over to the silo and check on the stored canola. I climb up and peek inside. It looks perfect! The canola seeds are dry, clean, and well preserved. No moisture damage, no mold, no issues at all. The silo did its job keeping everything in proper storage condition. Time to start hauling this to market. I attach my largest grain trailer to the tractor and position it under the silo's discharge chute. I open the valve and golden canola seeds begin pouring out, flowing into the trailer like a waterfall. The sound is incredibly satisfying. Thousands of tiny seeds rushing into the trailer. Within minutes, the trailer is completely full. I close the valve and drive to the grain buyer in town. This is the same facility where I sold wheat and other crops before. I back up to their receiving pit and unload the entire trailer. The grain buyer tests the canola quality, checking moisture content, seed quality, and purity. Everything passes inspection perfectly. For this first trailer load of canola, I received $37,000. That's way more than I would have earned if I sold immediately after harvest. The decision to store and wait was absolutely the right move. But this is just the first load. The silo is still mostly full. I drive back to the farm, refill the trailer, and make another trip to the grain buyer. Then another trip. When the silo is completely empty and I've sold the entire stored canola harvest, I calculate the total earnings, $73,000. That's massive profit. And because I stored it strategically, I earned far more than I would have selling at harvest time. This is smart farming, understanding market timing and using storage infrastructure to maximize profits. With such strong finances from the canola sale, I start thinking about expansion opportunities. The 2 greenhouses have been incredibly profitable. Steady income, low maintenance, year-round production. Why not add a 3rd greenhouse? I contact the same supplier I used for the first 2 greenhouses and place an order for another complete greenhouse kit. The cost is $36,000, a significant investment. Instead of 2 small ones, I took 1 large greenhouse. Now I need to decide what to plant. The first 2 greenhouses have a mix of vegetables, lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, garlic. But for this 3rd greenhouse, I decide to specialize. I'm planting lettuce exclusively. Why? Because lettuce grows fast, has high turnover, and sells consistently well. With an entire greenhouse dedicated to lettuce, I can harvest and sell more frequently. And here, I want to ask you, what do you think about greenhouses? Are they worth the investment? What crops would you grow if you had greenhouses on your farm? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your suggestions and feedback. Your input helps shape how this farm develops. While the 3rd greenhouse is getting established, I check on the 2 silo pits. Several weeks have passed since I covered them, and the silage should be ready by now. I walk over and carefully lift 1 corner of the tarp. The smell hits me immediately. That strong fermented odor that tells me the silage is perfect. I pull back the tarp completely and inspect the silage. It's transformed from bright green grass into dark, compacted, energy-rich feed. Exactly what I was hoping for. Time to haul this to market. I attach my forage trailer to the tractor and drive into the first silo pit. I load the trailer completely full of fermented silage. It's much heavier and denser than fresh grass was. I drive to the biogas plant on the edge of town and back up to their receiving area. I unload the entire trailer and I got $2,500 on the spot. Premium pricing for quality silage. I immediately drive back and load another trailer. Then another. Throughout the day, I make multiple trips, hauling silage from both pits to the biogas plant. Each load brings in $2,500. By afternoon, both pits are completely empty. Every last bit of silage sold. I calculate the total earnings, $18,000. Silage production has become one of my most reliable and profitable operations. The entire cycle is efficient now with my proper equipment, and the profit margins are excellent. With strong finances and a growing farm, I start thinking about livestock diversification. The sheep have been incredibly profitable, but I want to add another animal type. After researching options, I discover goats. Goats produce goat milk, which sells for higher prices than sheep wool and is always in demand at local markets. I contact a livestock dealer and ask about goats. He has 15 healthy goats available for $12,000. I agree to the purchase. The dealer delivers them the next day in a livestock trailer. I guide the goats into the sheep pen. There's plenty of room for both species to coexist. The sheep and goats seem curious about each other at first, but quickly settle in together peacefully. The goats are active and energetic, immediately exploring their new home. I feed them grass bales from my stored supply. Goats eat the same feed as sheep, so no extra preparation needed. Within a few weeks, they'll start producing goat milk pallets that I can collect and sell. This adds another valuable income stream to the farm. Wool from sheep, milk from goats, plus all my crop and greenhouse income. As spring returns after winter, the grass field has grown back tall and thick once again. Time for another silage production cycle. The routine has become almost automatic now. I hitch the mower to my tractor and cut the entire field in neat rows. Then I switch to the windrower and gather the grass into organized swaths. Finally, I use the forage trailer to collect everything efficiently. I haul multiple loads to both silo pits, filling them completely with fresh-cut grass. Then comes the compaction. I drive the tractor over the grass repeatedly in both pits, pressing it down tight to remove air and release plant juices. Once both pits are compacted solid, I cover them with tarps and secure the edges with weights. Another silage batch is fermenting. This will be ready to sell in a few weeks. But then something unexpected happens. I'm walking through the 2 canola fields, checking on the crop progress, when I notice a serious problem. Weeds. Thick, aggressive weeds have sprouted throughout both fields, growing between the canola plants. They're competing with the canola for nutrients, water, and sunlight. If I don't deal with this immediately, my harvest yield will be dramatically reduced. I inspect the weeds closely. They're still medium-sized, not yet fully mature. That's good news. I can handle this with herbicide spray, but I don't own a sprayer. I need to buy one quickly before the weeds get worse. I search online listings and find a used sprayer for sale nearby. It's older but functional, with good spray nozzles and working pump. The price is $4,000. I drive out immediately to inspect it, test all the systems, and purchase it. I also stop at the agricultural supply store. Here I buy a container of selective herbicide, the kind that kills weeds but doesn't harm canola plants. The herbicide costs $1,500. Back at the farm, I prepare the sprayer. I fill the tank with water and add the herbicide according to the mixing instructions on the container. The mixture needs to be precise. Too weak and it won't kill the weeds, too strong and it might damage the canola. I drive to the first canola field and begin spraying systematically. The sprayer has a wide boom with multiple nozzles that spray a fine mist across the crop. I make careful passes, ensuring complete coverage of both fields without missing any spots or overlapping too much. The work takes 30 minutes, but I cover every inch of both fields thoroughly. The results are visible. The weeds turn brown and die while the canola plants remain healthy and green. The herbicide worked perfectly. The canola plants immediately start growing more vigorously without weed competition. Crisis averted. This was a close call, but proper management saved the harvest. As summer arrives, the canola fields transform into brilliant golden yellow, fully mature and ready for harvest. This is the moment I've been waiting for all year. I walk through the fields, inspecting the plants. The canola pods are full, the stalks are golden, and the timing is perfect. Time to fire up the combine. I climb into the cab, start the engine, and drive to the first field. I lower the header to cutting height and engage all systems. The combine moves forward into the golden canola, cutting stalks and pulling them into the threshing system. The grain tank indicator starts rising as tiny canola seeds pour in. The combine works beautifully. No problem, smooth operation. But this year, I'm making the same strategic decision as last year, storing all the canola in the silo instead of selling immediately. Summer harvest prices are always lowest because everyone is selling, but winter prices increase significantly. I'm going to fill the silo completely and wait for winter to sell when prices peak. After one day of harvesting work, both canola fields are completely harvested and the silo is packed to capacity. Another successful canola crop secured and stored for maximum profit. By now, the silage in both silo pits has fully fermented. I check under the tarps and the transformation is complete. Dark, compacted, energy-rich silage ready for premium prices. I attach my forage trailer and begin loading from the first pit. The fermented silage is heavy and dense, packing tightly into the trailer. I drive to the biogas plant and unload. I got $2,500 for this load as always. I make multiple trips throughout the day, hauling silage from both pits. Trip after trip, the money keeps rolling in. Now both pits are completely empty. Total silage earnings, $20,000. Silage has become one of my most reliable profit sources on this farm. With the canola harvest complete, I turn my attention back to the grass field. It's grown tall again. The grass just keeps coming back. Time for another silage production cycle. I go through the familiar routine. Hitch the mower, cut the entire field, switch to the windrower, gather the grass into swaths, use the forage trailer to collect everything efficiently. I haul multiple loads to both silo pits, filling them completely with fresh grass. Then comes compaction, driving the tractor back and forth, pressing the grass down tight. Once both pits are compacted to 100%, I cover them with tarps and secure the edges. Another batch fermenting. This process has become so smooth and efficient that I can complete an entire silage cycle in just one day. But now I've been thinking about something important: equipment upgrades. My current tractor has served me well, but I'm handling larger fields and heavier equipment now. I need more power, better hydraulics, and modern features. I've found a much more powerful used tractor for sale. Newer model, bigger engine, stronger hydraulic system. The price is $70,000. To help finance this upgrade, I decide to sell my current tractor. I post it online and quickly find a buyer who needs a reliable mid-size tractor. I sell it for $15,000. Then I drive to the seller's farm to inspect the new tractor. When I see it, I'm immediately impressed. This machine is significantly more powerful than my old one. The engine sounds strong, the hydraulics are responsive, and it has modern features like GPS guidance and automatic transmission. I purchase it for $70,000 and drive it home. The difference is incredible. This tractor pulls my heaviest equipment effortlessly. What used to strain my old tractor is now easy work for this machine. The cab is more comfortable, the controls are smoother, and everything just feels more professional. This is a serious upgrade. With my new powerful tractor, I realize my old cultivator is now the limiting factor. It's small, worn, and slow, designed for a smaller tractor. I need a cultivator that matches my new tractor's capabilities. I find a larger, wider cultivator for sale. Modern design, wider working width, heavier construction. The price is $23,000. I sell my old cultivator first for $1,600, then purchase the new one. Time to prepare the canola fields for next season. Both fields need cultivation after harvest. The soil is compacted and covered in stubble. When I attach it to my new tractor and test it for the first time, I can't believe the difference. The wider working width means I cover almost twice as much ground per pass. What used to take 1.5 hours now takes less than 30 minutes. The combination of powerful tractor and modern cultivator is a complete game changer for field efficiency. I finished the first field in record time, less than in 20 minutes. I immediately moved to the second field and repeat. Another 10 minutes, and it's done. Both fields are cultivated and ready for planting. The new equipment combination just cut my cultivation time in half compared to before. This upgrade was absolutely worth the investment. Now, standing here with both fields cultivated and ready, I want to talk directly to you. I've prepared both fields and they're ready for planting. But I want your input. What crop should I plant next? Should I go with canola again since it's been so profitable? Should I try wheat for variety or something completely different? Leave your suggestions in the comments below. This brings the third year to a close. There have been many improvements to the farm this year. I bought new animals, goats, installed another large greenhouse, sold a lot of silage and canola harvest from last year, and most importantly, updated my equipment. So if you want a continuation, write in the comments, "I want a continuation." Also, like and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss future videos. This was Fizbee. See you next time.